And our correspondent Siddharth Bharadwaj is now joining us from New Delhi. Siddharth, important day in Delhi. All 7 seats going to the polls today. And it was a hot day, but pretty reasonable voter turnout, one would think.
Well, definitely, it's the largest festival of democracy here in the NCT of Delhi, Mark, where 7 seats were up for grabs, and I would like to begin with the voter turnout, Mark. If you allow me to read, then it's 53.73. When it comes to the entire NCT of Delhi, and where I am right now, it comes under the New Delhi constituency, where the voter turnout is 50.44. And amongst all the 7 constituencies in Delhi, the Northeast Delhi voted the highest, which is the 57.97%. Now, Mark, if I compare the figures to 2019, then it was somewhere around 60%, and then in 2014 it was somewhere around 65%. So the figures are not that impressive as of now, but then again we have to learn the very fact that these are the tentative figures, and they are pretty likely to change, and we'll see the final figures in few hours from now. But these are temporary figures which are likely to change again. In the evening time, around 4:15 p.m. the mercury was 43 degrees Celsius. So the weather also play a pivotal factor when it comes to the voter turnout. In the morning, 7 a.m. when the voting started, the temperature was really nice and people came out in large numbers to vote. But when the day progressed, the mercury also soared and people refrained from coming out of their houses because also because of the heat wave warning predicted by the India Meteorological Department. And elderly citizens usually do not come out during these times because of the scorching heat here in the national capital territory of Delhi. But as the temperature again came down, the mercury came down during the evening, voters again came in large numbers and exercised their franchise. So this is this is the particular scenario when it comes to the voting. People were also very happy by the arrangements made by the Election Commission of India, because they have provided clean drinking water to all the voters who came out to polling booths. There were about 13,000 polling booths in about 2,672 areas. These were the number of polling stations, and with the clean drinking water and the shelter for people who came out in large numbers to vote. It was a really impressive thing according to the voters. In scorching heat, they came out to exercise their franchise. Now, as far as the political battle is concerned here, Mark, then 7 seats are up for grab, and all the 7 seats are hot seat. Here where I am right now in New Delhi, the competition, in the entire Delhi, Mark, the competition is directly between the BJP and the India alliance of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. And when it comes to the seat sharing, then it's 4 and 3. On 4 seat, Aam Aadmi Party is contesting, and 3 seat the Congress is contesting, which is the Northeast, Northwest Delhi and Chandni Chowk against the Bharatiya Janata Party. Where I'm standing right now in New Delhi constituency, the candidates are Bansuri Swaraj and from the BJP and Somnath Bharti from Aam Aadmi Party. If I talk to you regarding the numbers of 2019 and 2014, then BJP clean swept all the 7 seats when it comes to the Lok Sabha elections. Now this time around as well, BJP will try to clean sweep and make it a hat-trick. But on the other hand, the India alliance between these 2 parties I've just mentioned will certainly try to pierce that wall created with the bricks of BJP. But according to the past results which I've just mentioned, Mark, not much dent is expected to BJP's chances when it comes to coming into power once again here in the NCT of Delhi. But ultimately it's in the hands of voters. They will ultimately be the one who will be deciding as to who will be representing the particular constituencies here in the NCT of Delhi. Over to you, Mark.
Thanks a lot, Siddharth, for that comprehensive answer. Now we move on to Deepika Mehto, who is joining us from Azamgarh. Deepika, so what was the day like? What's the voter percentage like? And, give us a rundown of what happened.
Good evening, Mark. It was really an interesting battle here in the sixth phase of UP. 14 seats went to the polls today in the sixth and the second last phase of voting. And if we talk about the voting percentage of Azamgarh particularly, it has been 54% till now. And we are expecting the final numbers to come out by late evening. However, the percentage that we tell you right now is of 54% is comparatively higher as compared to other seats of UP spread across different parts of the state. And if we talk about other hotly contested seat, it is Jaunpur, which recorded around 52% of voting percentage turnout. And if we talk about the entire 14 seat figure, then it is around 52% again. So altogether, this has been a very fair number when we talk about the polling percentage. The weather has played a very crucial and a brutal role here for the voters because it was really hot and humid here. But even after that, the voters came out, started coming out in the evening, and especially after 4 o'clock, and we saw a fair turnout of voters for that also. And interestingly, Mark, when we were here and talking to the people, talking to the voters, many of the young voters, they came at around 5:30 p.m. and they urged on camera to all their young voters, to all their fellow companions to go out and vote in at least the last phase of the polling, which is the seventh phase. So now whatever happens between the parties, because SP and the BJP are the two contesting parties here, whatever happens that we will get to know on the 4th of June. But till now, Azamgarh especially has recorded a fair number of voter turnout, and they have now very upfrontly and very upbeat manner celebrated this festival of democracy, Mark.
Right, and tell us also, Deepika, what are the key constituencies that people should be looking out for in this phase? After all, UP is a huge state. It has 80 seats, but has voted in several phases. In this phase, which are the key constituencies that we should be looking out for?
Out of the 14 constituencies, when we talk about UP, the key constituencies are Azamgarh and Jaunpur. Why we say Azamgarh? Because Azamgarh has been the home of Samajwadi Party, and it is largely been dominated by Samajwadi Party. Whereas if we talk about Jaunpur, it is either dominated by BSP or the SP. Now BJP fought in 2019 also, but they again lost it to Samajwadi Party because Akhilesh Yadav himself fought from this seat. And now in 2024 elections, he has put forward his very close aide, who's his cousin, Dharmendra Yadav, from this Azamgarh seat. So BJP is trying their luck by pushing forward the Bhojpuri singer and actor who's famously known as Niraua from this particular seat. However, BJP did win the by-elections out of this seat. When we talk about the another hotly contested seat, it is Jaunpur, where BJP is still struggling. Now they are trying to they have put forward different permutations and combinations to put the best foot forward and to put the best face forward. However, things have really gone haywire, and BSP has taken all the limelight by changing all the contestants in the last minute of this particular phase. So in the entire 14 phase category, in the entire 14 constituencies category, when we talk about, Azamgarh and Jaunpur stand out because of their interesting rivalry, their colourful performances, and the way they have done their campaigning across length and breadth across these so many days, and especially in the second last phase of this polling. So let's see, whatever happens, we'll get to know on the 4th of June. But till now, Azamgarh and Jaunpur are the hotly contested seats from this particular phase of UP, Mark.
Deepika Mehto, thanks very much. Let's move across now to Vishal Baristo, who's joining us from Midnapur, which is in West Bengal. Vishal, looks like West Bengal is polling in large numbers. What are the reasons for that?
Well, Mark, certainly West Bengal has polled in large number. By 5 o'clock, we had the percentage of 77%. People came out in large numbers to vote, and this has already crossed the fifth phase of polling in West Bengal, which was 73 plus. But let me tell you, Mark, before I answer to your question, that there have been incidents of violence reported from different parts of these 8 states. One TMC cadre has died in Tamluk. In Gharbeta, which falls under Jhargram constituency, the security guard of the BJP candidate, Dr. Pranat Tudu, has been injured, and there have been reports of violence between BJP and TMC. Now, it is quite unusual as far as other parts of the country are concerned that violence is reported. But let me tell you that BJP and TMC, they are all pressing very, very hard because there are 42 seats up for grabs. Last time BJP scored 18 seats and they are looking for an opening here to improve the tally this time because there has been a 10 years rule of Mamata Banerjee in the state. But people are very clear about the issues. We've been talking to youngsters, we've been talking to different age groups, especially with the youngsters. Unemployment is a huge issue here in West Bengal. I'm talking about the women folk. For them, price rise is another big issue. And for the elders, the feeling of nationalism runs very high because Midnapur has been the epicenter of Bengal revolution against the British Raj. So they all have different issues, different age groups, but definitely the incidents of violence from different parts of these 8 states, especially from Midnapur, Jhargram and also Tamluk, is certainly not reflecting very bad on the overall picture of Bengal. But it also signs a warning for the 7th and last phase. The Police Commissioner of Kolkata has already clamped Section 144 from 28th of May for 60 days, and he has written a letter in his notice. He has written a letter which is also his order that there are reports of violent demonstration that could occur during the period. So definitely Bengal would be hogging the limelight in days to come.
Yes, Vishal, and if we look back in history a little bit, West Bengal seems to poll differently from much of the country. They give a long period of time, you know, to one political party. We saw first the Congress ruling for a long period of time, then the left ruling for a long period of time. You haven't even mentioned them this time round. It means that there are 2 other parties, the TMC and, you know, the BJP now ruling the roost in a sense. So how does this happen in a sense? How do people, you know, just forget parties that have been ruling for almost 60 years and have found new parties currently?
Well, Mark, first of all, we need to understand the psyche of the state because there has been left rule for a very long time. Then Mamata Banerjee fought her way against the left rule and she's been ruling the state for 10 years. So aggression and violence has always been there since the days of left in the state, and now it continues. This is not a very good sign for democracy, but still we have to live with it as far as the psyche of the voters and the young blood is concerned. But when we talk about the contest in the state, the campaign was quite electrifying, and BJP is pressing very hard. I would repeat at the cost of repeating myself, BJP is trying very, very hard because it wants to grab the Bengal state 42 seats. But let me tell you that the high voting percentage has always been an indicator of change when it comes to the government in question. But this is not a state assembly election. This is an election for the national level. So it could have a different interpretation when it comes to high level of voting. But definitely when it comes to a triangular contest, the third front seems to be lagging far behind as far as campaign is concerned, though India bloc seems to have put up a brave fight by uniting left and Congress and different wings of the left parties. But as far as campaign is concerned, they seem to be have left far behind. Meanwhile, Mamata Banerjee is also coming up with surprising statements. Initially, she was heard in her campaign saying that you need not waste your vote on BJP or Congress because TMC is the only answer for the future of the state. And now you need to focus on TMC. But after the 4th phase, Mamata Banerjee has calmed down a bit, and now she is saying that we would be supporting the India bloc from outside. So it is blow hot, blow cold by Mamata Banerjee, and it would be very interesting to see how the 7th phase reacts and how does BJP gain out of this division between the TMC, Congress and the left.
Vishal Barrister in Midnapur, thanks very much. Now, campaigning is on for